So, beautiful people, welcome on in, guys, to the Notre Dame 2026 schedule and record predictions. Riggs Tambro, Seth Douglas, S&D Sports Media, myself at Riggs Sports Talk. Hope you guys are doing well. If you're on YouTube or you're not on YouTube yet, do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube at The Sports Forum and at Sports Forum CO on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere for you guys, man. But, Seth, we're getting through the thick of these, man. We are damn near done with these college football and NFL schedule previews, and it's right around the corner. But this team right here, this is a big one. People looking forward to this one. Notre Dame, I'm going to say I'm a little bit shocked by it. Some people not so much, but I'm shocked to see them as the co-favorite to win the national championship with Ohio State. So very interesting there, both at 6-1. So we'll get into it. Feels like they got to go 11-1 if they really want their shoe-in spot. We saw last year 10-2, one loss at home, one loss on the road. Opened the year with those two losses. You and I debated that for about 8 weeks last year. 10 in a row they won, and they did not get in. So we're thinking 11-1 is needed. Let's hop into the schedule and see if that is right. But before we do that, I want to ask you one question about CJ Carr, the quarterback, the sophomore over at Notre Dame. You know, you and I have been talking these Ohio State shows and Michigan shows and Texas shows and Oklahoma shows. Is he in those names? Is he that guy, CJ Carr?
I think he is. I definitely feel like he has proved he still has a little bit more to prove, but I mean the talent is there. I definitely feel like it's warranted the hype that he's getting. Do I think he's a Heisman winner this year? There's a couple other guys I might put up there before him, but I mean his name should be in the top tier of college quarterbacks this year.
Okay. I like it. I respect it here from Mr. CJ Carr, but you and I are going to hop on in here to this schedule. There is going to be a few let's keep moving on that one, guys.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to get into some of the good ones here. Wisconsin at Notre Dame. I do think it's right to talk about this for just 2 seconds. It's the season opener, September 6th, 7:30 p.m. night game. Is there a world that they get caught here? Or do you think that this is a start off, let the country know what's up, beat them by 40?
I think this is let the country know. Do I think 40? That might be a lot. Granted, they did average 40 points last year as an offense. So I mean, that's not a crazy take for you to just say that just now. But I definitely do believe that this is a, welcome to college football. We're here. We're going to be a name that you guys say for 12 weeks straight now. But I look at this more from a standpoint, and we're not talking about Wisconsin, but Wisconsin and Luke Fickell. What does this do for him? Because he's definitely on the hot seat this year, and he has to make a bowl game, in my opinion, to keep him around in Madison, Wisconsin. So, but definitely a win for Notre Dame off for it.
Okay. I'm right there with you. I do think 40 points actually is like attainable here. I could see this being like 52-10. Like it could be that kind of game here. But either way, guys, easy win here. 1-0 to start things off. This is just talent versus talent, and there's a lot more talent on one side than the other side. So we'll go ahead and keep moving. Rice at Notre Dame, 3:30 p.m. Hey, look, I know them Rice boys. If this was in the classroom, they might just beat them if it was test day. But on game day, I don't think so here. So give me 2-0. Are you cool with that?
Yeah. Now this is definitely 40 points. 40 points is definitely getting thrown up on them.
Yeah, Chris Boswell ain't kicking field goals, so I just don't know how they're going to score over there at Rice right now. So we'll see what happens. But Michigan State at Notre Dame, September 19th, 7:30 p.m. I want to say you and I looked at their schedule. They were over under 3.5 wins there for Michigan State. This obviously is one they are drawn up to lose. It's also on the road.
Yeah.
I know you're a Michigan guy. Could this be a game, or is this just keep on rolling?
Keep on rolling.
Keep on rolling.
Well, welcome back, Pat Fitzgerald. Welcome back to college, but there's still some time.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to say that I think this could be a game here for the first half, just because it is the toughest team that they've played yet. But it feels like the second half is going to just be an absolute outscored 27-7 if you're Michigan State. So I just feel like this is going to get out of hand later. But I do think of the first three, it is the toughest competition, personally.
You think so?
I do. I mean, Wisconsin, just because it's the first game, it could be a little weird, but I still think Michigan State, no, guy for guy, skill for skill, I think they're a better team than Wisconsin is.
Okay. Let me ask you this real quick, Riggs.
Yeah.
Let me blanket this show with this. Is this championship or bust for Notre Dame this year? Is this, granted, I do think, a couple more years down the line, we'll be talking about Notre Dame again, saying that this is going to definitely be, they'll have another team that can push the envelope and get to another national championship. But this team right here, right now, is it national championship or bust?
I don't know how it's not. Okay. And there's one other team in the country that I really feel that way about, and that's Oregon. I think it's championship or bust for them as well, because you've spent so long building this. You've had that coach in the building for a few years. You've been so close a couple of times. I mean, dude, the 2 losses they had last year, which is why I went to war with you about it, was by 1 and 3 points against 2 of the best teams in the country, one of which was in the national championship. And so I just, like, it's hard to sit there and not think that another year where, if you look at all the numbers, you've kind of brought it up a little bit, but they, certain parts of their line are ranked top 10. Certain parts of their offense are preseason ranked top 10. They are ranked preseason top 10. They are favored with Ohio State to win it all. Like, they are expected to be better. Well, if you're better than 10-2 with a total of 4 points that you lost by across those 2 losses to 2 of the best teams in the country, I don't know how the expectation isn't undefeated season / 11-1 at the absolute worst. And if you go 11-1, Seth, and then you go blow it to the number 10 Miami, you know what I mean? That's not successful either. Just getting to the playoffs is just not successful enough for this team. It is get to a national championship. At least they get there and they lose to Oregon by 4. I think you can live with that. I think that's like, okay, we lost to one of the greatest college football teams we've seen in a very, very, very long time. Fair. Yeah. But it is big 4 or bust at minimum for me.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. And I would say I would add Texas to that group of teams that have that.
You know how I feel about them boys.
I know. But for how it's shaping up, their name has to be in that group, just with the talent and all the extra stuff. But
yeah, 100%. I'm right there with you. All right, guys, 3-0 here for Notre Dame. Then I'll call it their first road test, because it's their first road game at Purdue. This should be light work, Seth. Are we cool to go 4-0? Because I think the one coming up here could get interesting.
Yeah. Funny enough, battle for Indiana. Granted, the AD, the new AD.
Is it a battle though?
Nah, it's not really a battle, but I got to put that little label on it. But the new AD for Purdue came out and made some crazy remarks. I think over 2 days ago, he was talking crazy. He was saying, if you want to win, if you want to win a national championship, come to Purdue. Or what do you say? If you don't want to win a national championship, go to Indiana. Yeah, like crazy.
Bro, it didn't even come off hard, bro. Like, he should have at least practiced it. It was like, hey, you know what? I'll tell you one thing. If you don't want to win championships, you go to Indiana.
Yeah, and for him to even say that, they just won.
How does that
even?
Natty,
yeah, I'm like, how did that even come in your brain? But I think Purdue still has a lot of work to do.
Lot of work.
Not a game.
They're like, even though they look the same, they're like excuse my language, but they're like the shitty Vandy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
At this point,
Vandy already feels like they're kind of pieced together in a way where, like, they can be good, but they might not be good, but they could really be good. And then there's like Purdue that's just more of like, yeah, they're either like bad or they're like okay.
They're the definition of a true basketball school, even though they have all the other sports in the school. But this is a basketball school. They just need to stick to basketball. Give me Notre Dame. Easy win.
Notre Dame, easy win. Yeah, right there with you. 4-0. Then at UNC. This is going to get interesting here because obviously this Bill Belichick era has been interesting to say the least to kick things off this season. It is the opening game here of October 3rd. Bill Belichick's got to get that signature win, Seth. They had a couple games last year where they were close to maybe a couple upsets here or there, especially in the first half of the game where you were like, oh, and then it just got bad. Like, is this that Bill Belichick signature save your job type of win? Because I think the fans over there have already decided it's this year or it's just time to go because this experiment has not gone in their favor.
Shoot, I'm looking at week 0 when they go to Ireland and play TCU. If he doesn't win that game,
They ain't gonna win that game.
Yeah, you can kind of cancel Christmas, in my opinion. He's just coaching to be coaching at that point. But I mean, I think when they get to this point, I think Bill Belichick will probably be fired after the game, and the new era of North Carolina football will take over. But nah, give me Purdue. I said Purdue. Give me Indiana. Oh, whoa! Give me Notre Dame. I just named like all 3 Indiana schools at one time. But no, give me Notre Dame to beat UNC and send Bill Belichick and his girlfriend on their merry way.
Yeah, buddy. Good luck with that, Bill. We happy for you, Brody. But that said, it just feels like this UNC team, they're going to be that team that honestly, though, looking at their schedule, I do think they're going to beat one good team. Like, I think they're going to pull off an upset. They have enough over there. Dude, last year it was so discombobulated. It's hard for me to see it worse or the same as it was. It was bad, bro. Like JV type shit bad. Like, I remember watching them and I was like, this literally looks like a good high school team. Like, actually. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And I was like, wow. Like, I mean, I was on a championship winning JUCO team back in my early days. Like, bro, we have more D1 players than they do. Like, they're terrible, bro.
Yeah.
So look, all I'm saying, they are going to win a big one, but I'm right there with you. This is not the one, and we don't even know if Bill's going to be the coach at this point. Maybe they just start like 0-4 and they just fire him. Like, who knows? At this point. But another win here, undefeated season thus far. Much needed undefeated season, might I say, here for Notre Dame. But we're going to keep moving here. We got Stanford at Notre Dame. Stanford, obviously, all the way back to the Christian McCaffrey days. They've had their moments. They've had their times. Against Colorado Buffaloes in 2023. They had themselves a banger. But the question here, Seth, is will they be able to beat the good Stanford, or is this just going the wrong direction here?
I mean, I think they'll be the good Stanford when they play like other ACC teams, but when you're going against the creme de la creme, the elite of the elite in college football, especially this year, I don't think they match up at this point. So give me Notre Dame. Like I think we've been saying it up until this point. Just the roster alone, you can just have them go out there, no game plan, no nothing. I just need you to just be special, and they could just really do that, in my opinion.
I'm right there with you. Talent versus talent, like you said. I do think, though, honestly, I don't know if it's a bold take or not. Like, I think Stanford's the toughest game so far. I think in the first 3, it's Michigan State, and then no one else is tough to me. I know people want to say Purdue. No. As
I'll say it like this.
Stanford beats UNC.
Yeah, Stanford is the more organized, solidified program out of everybody that we just talked about so far.
And if you're going to beat these guys, it's going to be on attention to detail, more discipline, and doing things the right way. I just think that they give themselves the best chance. Talent for talent, like you just said, they are not going to hang with them. But they start shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. CJ Carr gets a little bit messy with the football. Who knows if all of a sudden you're up 21-7 and you're like, holy shit, can we hold this? I don't think they can, but they have the pieces to do so. So we'll see, guys. But undefeated still. Then Notre Dame at BYU. This is a big one. People got to have circled. This is the first real test on the schedule. Not only is it BYU, but it's on the road. BYU should be a ranked team coming into here. I've seen some preseason polls, got them around 10 to 14, depending where you're looking. My man, BYU doesn't get the respect because they're Brigham Young University. Could this be a danger spot for the Irish?
Absolutely. Especially they're going to, I think Provo, Utah. I believe that's where Brigham Young is at. That flight up in the mountains. This game could really be scary if Notre Dame is not on their P's and Q's, because I really do like that BYU team. They've shown that they can handle the pressure. They can play with the big boys, quote unquote. They still need to, compare themselves to Texas Tech a little bit, but they're right there in the mix of it. I like Bear Bachmeier, the quarterback for BYU. To me, he looks like he's going to have another elevation this year. But with all that being said, I think Notre Dame gets to win. It is very close, though. Definitely, I'm getting like a game-winning field goal, something in that area. I think it really comes down to the wire.
Really?
But Notre Dame sneaks out of there, and we talk about possibly this being a top game of the year as of right now, or as this game comes around.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow. I'm not going to lie to you, Seth. I didn't really see you taking this to be that close of a game. I mean, I know BYU is pretty legit. But I also think I know where you're going to end up here on this record prediction. And if they let this one, put it this way, if they let this one slip, do you think they're in serious playoff trouble?
Yes, but I would like to add this little caveat for the viewers and everything. Starting this year and moving forward, Notre Dame, if they are in, I believe, the top 10 or at least the top 12, which is crazy.
I think it's 10.
Is it 10? So if you're in the top, if they're in the top 10, they automatically get into the playoffs, which is pretty absurd to me. But when you're Notre Dame and
they are 10-2 with losses to BYU, and we won't say it, but and another team on here, I don't think they're a top 10 team. And keep in mind, the same people that make the polls are very much in connection with the people that have been fading Notre Dame and everything like that. If they want them at 11, they're going to be 11. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So I think there's a world where you can't leave it to them. Once you lose your second one, I don't think in general that the committee is going to even put them in the top 10. Even if they're a top 10 team, they won't put them there.
And funny enough, since you said that, I've heard a lot of interviews with Marcus Freeman. He's talked about last year during the committee selection and all that stuff about leaving it in their hands. And he was hurt. He was hurt about that. He was like, "Dang, we should have never let it get to this point. Leave no doubt." That's the mantra he's been using a lot this year. Leave no doubt. Don't give them a chance to take something away from you. Put it all out there on the field and let the results speak for themselves. So I think that was a really big key for them going into this year. Leave no doubt. Do not let the committee, don't let them decide your fate, basically. And I think they're really going to stick home to that this year. So yeah, they need to not lose more than 2 games, and I think they'll be all right.
I don't know, man. I want to believe in Notre Dame. I was so hard on them preseason. Then when they lost and everyone jumped off the ship, I weirdly jumped on the ship. And I was like, hey, whoa, I was hard on them, but you guys are fucking tripping, okay? Like, this is a good football team, right? Seth, they can't lose this one to me, man. You said 3-point game. It better not be that close. I know it's on the road. I know it's going to be tough here.
Hey, man,
I'll give him a touchdown, but I'm genuinely going to go 30-20. But I think for 3 quarters, it's scary. I do think it's a game for 3 quarters, but
like
CJ
that.
Carr versus Bear Bachmeyer. I mean, look, I like Bear Bachmeyer. Do I think he's as good as CJ Carr? Not quite. Do I think either guy is that special? No. But Bear Bachmeyer, to me, this sounds bad, but I think if you put him on a lot of other big teams, he's not the guy. So,
okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But I do think he has enough talent to, get you a key game and push you ahead.
For sure.
So,
oh yeah.
I don't know.
And plenty of experience and oh yeah.
I just think this to date, this game is going to be the test that tells us what we're really going to get, and then we'll talk about the next couple games coming up. But this is the premier game that will let us know what to expect from Notre Dame, in my opinion.
Better not lose. That's all I can say. Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman. By the way, brother, I got really tired of you throwing your little postseason pissy fit last year. So let's just go 11-1 and keep the bitching aside, because I think the whole world thought they looked a little childish. We get it. We understand why you did it, but it's also like, hey, like,
didn't even play in the bowl game.
You did it to yourselves. No one felt bad for you that you guys went 10-2, but I get it. 10 in a row, I'd be fucking pissed too. 2 losses worth 4 points. Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed off, but it's all good. Anyway, we're moving on through here, guys. We got, oh, by the way, did you see that little poll? I don't know if it was true or not. I saw something that said, had Notre Dame been put in, Miami was the one that was going to be left out.
Now,
which is funny when you look how far they went. So
exactly. That's interesting. Anyway. I don't know who I would have rather seen in the playoff compared to those two, because I felt like both of them were pretty equal in my opinion. It was just what path was easier for them, and Miami found a little easier path to get to the Natty.
Yeah, but I wasn't a huge Miami guy, but I don't think we should take anything away from their run, because I think what they did, they kind of proved everyone they weren't a 10 seed, so good on them, so hard to fade that. And they beat Notre Dame.
Exactly. You got to win the game. You got to win the game.
But guys, we got a fun one here. Notre Dame at Navy. Navy, always a tough place here. Spooky Saturday, but every other game we've been talking about on Halloween, man, it is a night game. This is at noon. They're saying we want to be home in time to dress up as something, go see our girls dress up as something, and go party. This is going to be light work at noon, on the road at Navy, home by 4:30. My man, is this a game or is this easy?
See, it's been hard, because the past couple years against Navy has been hard and then easy, hard then easy. So last year was pretty easy for them. This year, funny enough, people are talking about Navy as the representative for the Group of 6. So you get that 12 seed. I saw that. So I don't know. That's something to take account in. If people are talking about Navy like how they are, they might pose a little threat against Notre Dame. But I will say, give me Notre Dame. They better not. Yeah, they better not. Give me Notre Dame. I'll say Navy makes it scary. They get spooky hours in maybe the first quarter going into the second quarter, but after that it's light work, and like you said, they'll be home by 4:30.
Home by 4:30. No overtime needed.
No overtime needed.
No long speeches from coach in the locker room telling you how you're not going to be anything, and so there's that. But anyway, at Navy, man, it's a tough one to call here. I really like the academies. I'm a big academy guy. Shout out to our friends over at Air Force. Really love you guys. Appreciate you. Go check out the Air Force Falcons if you guys are in Colorado any Saturdays this year. But that said, my brother committed to Navy back in the day. Then he was at Air Force for a while. Oh. I like these guys, man. But if you're at Notre Dame, you're focused on winning a ring. And if you're at Navy, you're focused on flying airplanes. I'm sorry, that's not true. Driving boats, I should say. So that said, I'm going to go with Notre Dame here just because of a lack of talent like we've been talking about. Navy's good for a couple huge wins every year. They're good for a lot of really close ones that come down to it that seem to not go their way for whatever reason. If this is one of those, shame on Notre Dame, but it doesn't really matter how close it is because Notre Dame will find a way to win this game. I think Navy has done a good job of opening up the offense a little bit and not being so condensed. You know, Army was kind of the first one to do that. Navy's kind of figuring out a little bit, but is it enough to go shot for shot with Notre Dame? I just don't see it here. So going to go with you, man. We are undefeated up to this point, and it's getting good here. We got Miami, Florida, November 7th, 7:30 p.m. at home for Notre Dame here. At home is a big one in this one. Yes. My man, you are high on this Miami, Florida team. I know we talked about them a couple weeks ago. We've kind of been brought up on a few other shows in some tight spots here. You seem to be siding with them. Are you siding with Miami in this one? Is this L number 1?
I believe it is. First, I'll just blanket it by saying Miami is definitely coming up to Indiana in November, a little bit colder, all that good stuff. So I think they'll have to take exception to that when the game starts. But put that to aside. I think Miami is just too explosive coming into this year. Malachi Toney, Darian Mensah at the quarterback position, who I also very much like making a deep playoff run and also contending highly for the Heisman Trophy this year, alongside a couple other people. Riggs knows one of them especially, but but yes, this Miami team is going to be on a mission, and I do think this Miami team might be a little bit better than what they were last year. Even though they contended for a national championship, they still got a lot of key pieces on that defensive line coming back, and they added some new guys. I really like Miami. I think this is where Notre Dame gets a real test on, like, okay, are we able to hang with the elite teams, the big boys? And I won't say this is a blowout or anything, but I think Miami comes in there and shows face and, you know, puts on a good show and kind of puts Notre Dame in their spot a little bit. So give me Miami to get the win over Notre Dame.
Interesting. You really don't think this is that one Marcus Freeman's got circled and he said, this one's been hurting me for a year and 8 weeks.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely got it circled, but does he have enough to get it done? That's the question. And before you go, Riggs, I want to put this out there too. To me, this is where we find out what that receiver room is all about. We talked about it behind the scenes. This is where we figure out if Mylan Graham, Quincy Porter, both coming from Ohio State, what they can do and what they can provide for the wide receiver room. It's just that receiver room is so young, we don't really know what to expect. So this is the game that they really need to figure out who is going to be that guy. So floor is yours, sir.
I'll be honest with you. The one spot I'm going to somewhat disagree with you and just kind of disagree with the narrative, I think. To me, Notre Dame is a better football team, and Miami, dare I say it, is a worse team than they were last year. They lost, worse? Dude, they lost a lot of NFL talent. And good on them. They also had a great recruiting class because of how far they went. But I struggle to see how they are better than the situation that they were in last year. And keep in mind, folks, yes, they lost in the national championship, but they were the 10 seed going into that. And it was a coin flip that they were even in the postseason. I just feel like we have this little thing in our minds where we have put Miami here now. They're here. They're right here. I don't know about that. It was a fantastic run. They were a big stop away from a natty. You know, I get it. I just feel like they're a little bit overhyped, and I can't help but say, looking at Notre Dame, that they're just an improved football team. just kind of across the board, just a little bit in pretty much every spot here. Outside of, I mean, you lose Jeremiah Love. That's an absolute fucking dagger. But he wasn't the only back they had, nor is he the only good back on that roster now. So I just feel like this is slightly that 1 to 3 points that this game was going back and forth all game and ended up being decided by. That could be the difference here in these adjustments, and the fact that it's at Notre Dame, and the fact that they're the ones that want the redemption. Seth, I'm not a Notre Dame guy. I love Rudy, but like, bro, I'm going Notre Dame here, and there is zero homer to it at all. I'm not a fan at all, but I just feel like this game is the game where they show why they are tied with Ohio State in the national championship favorites. Right here. You got to win this one. No excuses. And by the way, you can't lose this one anyway. I would rather they lose to BYU and win this game, because this is the game that everyone's saying, yeah, you guys cupcake your schedule, but you can't win that one.
I'm
tired. If I'm them, I'm so tired of that narrative.
Yeah.
It's true. It's low key. It's kind of true. They do give themselves easy ass schedules, which, by the way, doesn't make any sense because they don't need an easy schedule. Like, if they go play Michigan, they'll beat them. If they go play Alabama, they'll beat them. No, just stay with me here. If they go play Mizzou and all them, like, they'll beat them, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, I get that they don't play them, and it is kind of scared. Like, I get it. But like, if I'm Marcus Freeman and that AD, I would say go play those teams. But they did that last year, and they lost by a total of 4 points, and it cost them their whole fucking year. Like, I get it, but like, bro, I don't know. It's so, you know what I mean? It's such an interesting situation. I don't know.
To that point, it's because, I mean, they're independent, so technically they don't have a conference. But when you go to their other sports like basketball, baseball, and stuff like that, they're part of the ACC, which is the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my life. But I don't have enough money to make any decisions for them, so it is what it is. But I'm just like, like, you have the pick of the litter to go out and make a viable schedule that no one can deny. But we're also getting into the era of college football is where, like, is it better strength of schedule or strength of record? And I've been hearing those things being broke down a lot over this offseason. Say that again.
What do you think?
See, I am old fashioned, so I like the strength of schedule record, or strength of schedule definition.
I got to call you out on this one, Seth. I got to call you out on this one, because deep down, I believe that about you. However, last year, when they played these two teams that were ranked in the top 5 in the country in the first 2 games, and they lost by a total of 4 fucking points. And I said to you, Seth, we're not going to give them credit for who they just played and the fact that they arguably outplayed the other team in both of those games.
See, but it
wasn't about the strength of schedule at the end of the year. They went on to win 10 in a row. They went on to do all these things, and they lost to the 2 teams that no one else could beat either, by the way. And all of a sudden it was, they lost 2 in a row. They suck. Notre Dame's frauds. Get them out of here. And I hate to say it, you were kind of on that train of like, Riggs, they're 2-2. What are we talking about? I said, Seth, they're 2-2. They've won 2 in a row. They've lost by 4 points total against 2 of the best teams in the country. Why are we acting like they're not legit? And the whole argument that people gave me was, bro, they're 2-2. Or bro, they're 0-2. They're not good at all. It's like, okay, then why? In their mind, they're like, so what the fuck are we doing? Why are we even? We can play Rice. Why are we playing Miami?
Right. Which is all collectively good to, have all points acknowledged. But last year I was definitely a part of the discussion of like, hey, yes, they faced those 2 hard games right off the bat. Cool. You showed me who you were. And I was very big on saying that it is a what have you done for me lately kind of poll. That's what the AP poll is to me. So if what have you done for me lately, you lost to 2 of the elite teams and your back half of the schedule is a bunch of teams that you should run through technically. So to me, that was like, okay, you guys had the opportunities. Yes, you came up close and lost close games, but it's like y'all still lost. Like the L is still on the record. No matter how you dice it, how you slice it, an L is an L. So,
but there are better L's than other L's.
yes.
And of all the L's across the country, I honestly think their 2 L's were almost W's. They were weird looking L's.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. This is their L's right here.
Yeah. You make it.
You know what I mean? Like, yep. I really do feel like it does matter to me. If you're 0-2, but you played 2 top 5 teams and you lost by a total of 4 points, or you're Ohio State and you're 2-0 and you've won by 40 points in both games and you beat Rice and Louisiana Tech University of the Institute of Gasoline. Honestly, the better team to me is the team that's 0-2.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't know.
Okay,
that's where I'm weird, but I just look at it. I look at it so clear cut. Like, who's better? Not the record means nothing to me. Absolutely nothing.
So you kind of made the point of you are a strength of record guy, but their schedule has to line up for their schedule to be that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I am just all straightforward. Hey, you need to play X amount of teams. You got to play a couple playoff teams, and maybe you can get one cupcake. And, that could be your preseason game. Let that be what it is. But you need to have viable elite teams that you play. And I feel like now as college football and, NIL and all that stuff is coming into play a lot more, I think we're going to start seeing the regression of top teams playing each other. And, it's just going to be all about the record at the end of the day. Who can get the 12 wins faster so they can solidify themselves in the playoff, which I hate, but it is what it is. To your same point, it's like, why go schedule a Miami, Ohio, or a BYU when I can go get Rice and UNLV and all these other bummy teams and stat pad my record. So it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
Guys, we're going to fly through the rest of these here. Seth going with a loss against Miami. I'm going with a win. Boston College at Notre Dame, win. SMU at Notre Dame, going to be a good one. Notre Dame at Syracuse. Seth, the over-under on the year, my man. Depending where you're looking, by the way, over 10.5 is minus money. Under 11.5 is minus money. My opinion, you should be going with the 11.5 number technically, but I know on the article we went with the 10.5 number because that seems to be on more sports books around the places. So that said, what's your final record? I'll go first here really quick. I got the over. I have them undefeated. Horrifically, I hate it with all my heart. I don't think that they're the number 1 team in the country, but they are undefeated. They are going bowling, not bowling. They are going to the playoffs, and I believe they will be a top 4 team. Do I think they are national champions? No. What you got?
I got them 11-1. I will say that SMU game is in another world. That could definitely be a little bit scary if they drop the BYU or Miami game, just depending on how the situation comes. But look out for that SMU game. But I have them 11-1. I have them making the playoffs. Dare I say, I have them in a semifinal, probably. Natty,
Big 4. Me too.
Yeah, Big 4. National championship? No, I do not. I think I don't know. I just it's something about Notre Dame. It's just they always get there, but when you see them against like top tier teams, they always come short in some aspect, in my opinion. And it's just like, okay, they need that extra year to figure that out and get better in that same area. So I'm gonna say no on the Natty this year, but 11-1, Final 4, and we'll see what happens.
Over 10.5 wins, folks. We are both riding that one. Check out that article, sportsforummedia.com. It's up for you now for a deeper dive on it. And another take from another sports forum analyst. That said, my man, I know we got it going on tomorrow on the show. Hope to see you guys there. Tomorrow is going to be 6 p.m. per usual. We got the Kansas City Chiefs schedule and record predictions. Looking forward to that one, man. So many question marks surrounding that team. But for Notre Dame, man, they are legit. The luck of the Irish appears to be on their side here with this schedule. We'll see what happens. Are we being disrespectful? Could they win it all? I think they absolutely can. Will they win it all? We said no. So we'll see what happens. Seth Douglas at S&D Sports Media. Follow him on Instagram, TikTok. Myself at Rig Sports Talk, guys. We are getting up out of here. Appreciate you for tapping in. I don't know a sign off for the Irish, so I'm going to say some corny shit, and I'm going to say stay lucky, folks. We'll see.